Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages. If you follow basketball, you know Chilltown Hoops.
So this is really good right here. What up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls all over the world? What time is it? It is Monday, so you know what time it is. It's time for some hoop talk on YouTube with Chilltown Hoops. Y'all know where to find me. If I'm not here, I'm on TikTok 9 a.m. If I'm not on TikTok 9 a.m., I'm on the panel from 11 to 2. If I'm not there, you can find me on Tuesday nights right here on the Chilltown Hoop Network with my man Tony Tone, or on the Sports Fluent Network. I am not hard to find. So, without further ado, I want to discuss what's going on in the NBA. Right? We've had an amazing season. Let me rephrase that. We're having an amazing season. We haven't had an amazing season. We are having an amazing season. One of the best seasons that I've ever seen in my in all my days. What up, Quit? What up, Gut? I'm sorry, Cut from London. What up? With that being said, you know, people want to debate me about the GOAT debate and all of that stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, what up, E? I'm thinking to myself, yo, we got a guy in SGA that's going to score close to 2,500 points this season. That could happen, right? We got a guy in Joker who has had one of the most, if not the most complete offensive season that a player has ever had. That includes Jordan in 89. That includes Jabbar in 76. That includes Shaq in 2000. We have a team in Cleveland who lost yesterday after their second time this season, winning 15 straight games. After the second time they've won 15 straight games. I think the Lakers in 2000 did that. Since then, I don't think it's been done. I'm sorry to take that back. The Warriors did it when they won 73 games. The Bulls did it. The Bulls did it. The Warriors did it in 2016. With that being said, we got an Oklahoma City team that's running away with the Western Conference right now, running away with it. And we got an Oklahoma City Thunder team that looks fantastic. And these guys want to talk to me about the GOAT debate when I'm making it clear that this is one of the best seasons on record. One of the best seasons on record. The Boston Celtics, the defending NBA champs, who have the best starting five in basketball, starting five in basketball, I think. They're awesome. And with all of that being said, there's awards to be handed out, right? There are awards to be handed out at the end of the season. Just so you guys know, I know that there are people who don't care much for accolades. I know that there are people who don't care much for accolades. I'm not one of those people. I care about being an all-NBA performer. I care about being I care about being an all-league defender. I care about being an all-star. As much as it might be insignificant or inconsequential to you guys, I care about that stuff. Because it validates me as a player. And I've always felt like that. You know, being an all-pro, and for some people, it may seem to be an old way of thinking. I don't subscribe to that at all. I don't subscribe to that logic one bit. Being an all-pro matters. I care about the league MVP. I care about the defensive player of the year. I care about the most improved player. I care about the sixth man of the year. I care about that stuff. And with that, right? With that, I think this season, I feel like we've had a tighter race in a lot of things. Like the league MVP, for example. I think SGA is going to win it. But I would not be surprised if Joker won it. I would not be. I wouldn't think to myself, oh, SGA got robbed. And no, considering the season that Joker is having, which rivals what Jabbar did in 76 when he won the league MVP after essentially what Jabbar did in 76 was he turned the Lakers, who are Utah, he turned them into a playoff team. They missed the playoffs by the rules back then. By the rules back then, they missed the playoffs. If they played in today's game, they would have made the playoffs. And he turned Utah in one season into a playoff team. He did that. Yes, sir. That 100% happened. So Joker is having one of those type of seasons, an all-time great type of seasons. Same logic applies to SGA. He's having that kind of season this year, which I don't think is I don't think it should be undersold what SGA is doing this year. I don't, because I'm not sure that I'm going to see something like this again. I'm not saying that I won't. I'm not saying that I won't, because I think Anthony Edwards is going to be the league MVP at some point. I do. I think he's that good. I think within the next, I already counting this season, within the next 5 years, he's going to be the league MVP, and I think he's going to be the best guard in the league. Counting this season within 5 years, I think he's going to be the league MVP, and I think he's going to be the best guard in the league. And we could get a season like what we're getting right now with SGA, because I what's up, Sneed? I could see a world where Anthony Edwards is leading the league in scoring. I could see a league. I could see a league where I could see him leading the league in scoring, and I could also see him being an all-league defender too. I don't think that's ridiculous at all from a guy like Anthony Edwards. I don't think that's ridiculous in the least bit from a guy like him, because I feel like I felt like last year he was on the cusp of being an all-league defender anyway. I felt like he was that good. And this season, not so much, but I still think that he's been good on the defensive side of the ball. Not as much as he was last year, but I feel like he's expanded his game every year. Like last season, he expanded his game as a defender. This season, he expanded his game at the long ball line. I think next season, I think he becomes a more versatile scorer and passer. I think he becomes more of an elite offensive player, not just a bucket getter. I think he does his homework, and I think that happens. But until that happens, we got a guy in the league in SGA who, for all intents and purposes, has been nothing short of fantastic. And the argument can be made he's the best guard in the league. Yes. Even though I think Luka is the best scorer in the game, you could still be the best guard in the game. And I think that's going on with SGA. And when I think about the all-pro team, that's why this is exactly what I'm talking about, guys. When I mean these postseason awards count, it's the same as employee of the month, right? It's the same as employee of the year, right? It's the same as employee of the month. It's the same as employee of the year, right? It's the same as this. And I mean, what would you rather? Would you just rather people just keep working and never be recognized? Right? Would you rather just people just keep working and never be just recognized, and you'll just recognize them for being good players and never give them anything else in order for them to be recognized? I don't want that. I'm not interested in that at all. No. I wish I could say I was interested in that, because I'm not. Not in the least bit am I interested in that. So with that, right? With that being said, when I think about the all-pro team and what's going on, right? When I think about what's going on and who's been awesome this season, who do I think are all pros, right? Who do I think is that? I think there's 4 locks for first team, right? I don't think that there's 4 guys that are more of a lock in first team All NBA than Joker, Giannis, SGA, and Jason Tatum. Those are the four guys that I'm confident are first team All Pro. Then after them, it starts to fluctuate. At one point, it was Wemby. Wemby got hurt, so he's out. At another point, we talked about Cat and what Cat had done. I think the Cat is kind of tapering off. Then James entered the conversation, right? James entered the conversation for what he was doing. And I'm thinking to myself, is James really hurt? Which I'm not questioning, but is James really hurt? Because I know if this was, I think he's really hurt. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to ask the question, is he really hurt? Because if he wasn't, I mean, they don't have any wiggle room. The Lakers don't. You know, we got a three-way tie for second place in the Western Conference right now. So the Lakers don't have any wiggle room to. They don't have any wiggle room to sit him, especially the way he's been playing. They don't. So from 2 to 4, 2, 3, and 4 are all have the same record. And 5, which is the Lakers, are separated by 1 game. So from 2 to 5 is separated by 1 game. The Lakers don't have any room for error. Right? They don't have any room for error. Zoe, get out of my chat. I don't got time for goofy ass dudes like you. Get your ass out of my chat. You could go. We'll put him there. He could go. Yep, I'm straight on him. Anyway, the Lakers don't have time for. They don't have room for any error whatsoever. James and Luka are trying to figure out how they can play together. Austin Reeves has been really good. So with that being said, right? So with that being said, I don't think that this injury isn't. I don't think that this injury isn't significant. No, I don't think that at all. No, I think this is a significant injury, and it's come at an inopportune time off the strength that they're in a playoff push. They were tied for second like a week ago, right before the Boston game. They were tied for second in the Western Conference with Denver, and here we are, right? Here we are today. They're a game at a second, which that Western Conference is really tight. So it was James, but I think because James got hurt, I think that may take him out of the running. So who does that leave us with? Who does that leave us with now? If it's not James, if it's not Cat, if it's not Wemby, who does that leave us with in the Eastern Conference or in the Western Conference? Because again, we already have 4 guys. We got Joker, Giannis, SGA, and Jason Tatum. I think those guys are locks. I think Luka's. I don't think he's played enough games. Does that leave us with Cade Cunningham? Cade Cunningham, who none of us had the. I know I didn't. I'm not gonna speak for everybody. I did not have the Detroit Pistons as good as they are right now. No, I did not. They're a game out the 5th spot. 1 game, right? 1 game out of the 5th spot, and a game and a half away from hosting a playoff series. And I watched that game against Oklahoma City this past weekend, and they got jobbed. 100% they got jobbed. So Cade Cunningham, Donovan Mitchell are the 2 guys that I'm thinking about right now. Am I going to get a surprise at on the first team All Pro spot? Could Evan Mobley be a first team All Pro this year? No, I don't think so. I do think he is making the All Pro team though. I 100% believe that Evan Mobley is making the All Pro team. I'm not going to argue that he's not. because I think that where he's been and what he's been doing, I do think that Evan Mobley at 19 and 9 on elite defense. Yes, I do think that I do think that he's an all-pro this year. No doubt about that. Curry wasn't like this is what I want you guys to remember, because I know that we're approaching the like the last, what's today? Today is the 17th, it's St. Patrick's Day. I think a month from today. Yeah, I think a month from today the playoffs start. If I think it's between the 18th and the 22nd, I think that's when the playoffs start. So we got about a month left in the regular season. So with that being said, I think the in-season, I think the play-in tournament starts on the 12th of April. So we have less than a month, right? We have less than a month. I don't want to get what I don't want to do is I don't want to get caught up in what's going on right now. We have to remember, I mean, there was a stretch during the season when James was 17 and 7, and you guys were saying that he was washed. He was over. That was going on, right? That was going on, 100% that was going on. He was washed. He was over. He was 17.7 rebounds, I think 8 assists. You guys were saying that he was washed. There was no reason for him to be an all-pro. I think I still had him. I think I still had him third team at that point, right? So with that being said, how he played before he got hurt over the last, I mean, being player of the month in the month of February and doing everything that he had, averaging 29 a game. I mean, I don't want to just count that, but of the collection of things that he did, going this way and going this way, then going this way, it hasn't been what it's been. So with that being said, I think that 5th spot goes to Donovan Mitchell. Even though Donovan Mitchell has been this and this and this, they have been at the top of the league, and he got robbed in 23. I thought he should have been first team all-pro that year when Shea and Luka both made first team all-pro and they didn't make the playoffs. I think he got jobbed that year. I do. I think he got jobbed that year. I think Anthony Davis, the way he was playing, I think he would have been an all-pro, but I mean, injuries kind of threw a monkey wrench in what he was trying to do. But I tell you what, injuries open the door for a lot of different people. So I'm gonna say first team all-pro is Donovan Mitchell, Jason Tatum, SGA, Giannis, Joker. That's who I think first team all NBA is. And because no Wemby, he ends up out. I think second team all-pro. I think I think it could be a band of guards. I do. I think it could be a band of guards with one big, and that big is Cat. Yep. I think that one big is going to be Cat. And I think I'm looking at Cade, Anthony Edwards, Cat, Curry, and I'm missing a 5th guy. I really want to put Evan Mobley on the second team all-pro. I do. But I'm not going to be able to do that because James is going to make second team all-pro. So, Cade, does Brunson make second team all-pro? Is Brunson third team all-pro? Because I think Cat is second team all-pro this year. I 100% believe that. I think Cat is second team all-pro. There was a time when we were having a conversation about him being first team all-pro. A legit conversation about that. A legit conversation about Cat being first team all-pro. I think that, no doubt about it, he's second team all-pro. I don't think Jaylen Brown makes the all-pro team this year. I would be very surprised if Jaylen Brunson, on the other hand, Jalen Brunson, on the other hand, yes. So Jalen Brunson may not Curry to the third team. And I'm saying it. I am going to say it right here on YouTube. I think Evan Mobley's second team all-pro. I'm saying it. Brunson, Cat, Anthony Edwards, Evan Mobley, Cade Cunningham. That's who I think second team All-Pro is. Anthony Edwards, Cat, Anthony Edwards, Cade Cunningham, Brunson, Cat, Evan Mobley. I think that's your second team All-Pro right there. I'm saying it. Third team All-Pro. Third team All-Pro. I got Donovan Mitchell, first team All-Pro. I got D. Mitch, first team All-Pro this year. Third team All-Pro. I just don't understand how we could keep Trae Young off the books like we've been doing them. I just don't get it. I really don't. I don't get it. I don't get how we could just continuously keep Trae Young. And I understand that Atlanta has gone the other way. And I'm on record saying that this is the most talented team that Trae Young has been on. And the reason why they faltered the way that they did, because I watched a couple of nights ago when they lost to Brooklyn. I believe it was just last night when they lost to Brooklyn. They had them dudes beat, and there was no reason why they should have lost to them. None whatsoever. Jordy Fernandez is coaching his ass off. Coaching his ass off in Brooklyn. 100%. So, who did I say was on the second team? Because I think James is the second team All-Pro this year. So Brunson Edwards, Cat, James, Anthony Edwards. Mobley's third team, now that I think about it. Yeah, Mobley's going to be on the third team. Brunson, Edwards, Cat, James. I want to put Mobley on that. I do want to put Mobley on that second team. I 100%. I 100% want to put Mobley on that second team. I do. Brunson, Edwards, Cat. Brunson, Edwards, Cat, James. Damn. I do want to put Evan Mobley on that second team. I just don't think he's going to make it. I do. I do not think Evan Mobley's going to make second team. But I do want to put him on that second team. I do. I 100% want to put him on that second team over Cade Cunningham, over Steph Curry, over Trae Young, over Sabonis. I 100% want to do that. No, not over James, though, Blake. No, I don't want to put him over James, though. And the reason why is because James is, before his injury, was first team All-Pro. No, I don't. And he's going to, and this is calculated too, by the way, where he's going to play the required amount of games in order to make the All-Pro team. He's definitely going to do that. So, and then the third team, I think I left somebody out. Third team, I think Cade, Trae. I don't think Sabonis has made it. I don't think Sabonis has played enough. He might have, but Cade, Trae, KD, Cade, Trae, KD. Man. Cade, Trae, KD. Jaren Jackson? Yeah, Jaren Jackson. And maybe Sabonis. And maybe Sabonis. Yeah. And maybe Sabonis. Oh, wait a minute. I ain't say Curry. And Curry. That's your third team All-Pro. As far as your defensive player of the year, of the candidates, that there are. There's Evan Mobley. I think there's Dyson Daniels. It was Wemby. I think Evan Mobley's the defensive player of the year, and I'm not saying it's a wash because Dyson Daniels, for all intents and purposes, has been great in the passing lane. Not only has he been great in the passing lane, he's also been great on ball. He's been great on ball. I'll enjoy Cancun when I go there. The next time I go there, you going quicker than I am. Sorry, Mike. I thought you put up a great fight, Mike. You did. Nice job, brother. Nice job. Maybe next time, my man. Yeah, maybe next time. But anyway, with that being said, I think Evan Mobley is the defensive player of the year, and with him being the defensive player of the year, I think this elevates him to next season. Right to when we get to next season, I think Mobley moves himself into that. I think Mobley moves himself into that top 20. We have to start talking about him different. First, an All-Pro who's the defensive player of the year. Yeah, we got to start talking about him different. Most improved. So before the season started, right? So before the season started, my most improved player was J-Dub in Oklahoma City, and with J-Dub, like going in and out of the lineup, his numbers haven't improved that much. And I think I'm on record telling you guys that the most improved player, right? The most improved player, his scoring average goes up 5 points on average. The most improved player, and for a large part of the season, I had Norman Powell. I thought he should have made the All-Star team. I think it's Christian Braun. And we haven't spoken about Christian Braun nearly as much as we should. His scoring average has doubled since last season. Doubled. He's up to 15 a game, starting on this Denver team as a playoff team. Now, I know how you guys felt about KCP. To be honest with you guys, I think KCP was integral to what they were doing. I just don't think that the gap between him and KCP is that big. I do not think that the gap between him and KCP is that big. I do not. I think it's I think we're looking at this right here. I don't think it's this. I don't think we give Christian Braun enough credit for the shooter that he is, the defender that he is, how he's improved as a defender. Right? How he has improved as a defender, not just improved as a defender, how athletic he is, how much better he's been in transition, and his scoring average is doubled. I think he's the most improved player this year. Most improved player this year, and I'm having a difficult time with those other guys. Norman Powell has been in and out of the lineup as of late. With Norman Powell being in and out of the lineup as of late, I think that that's hurt him. J-Dub might be out for the rest of the regular season. I don't know. I'm not saying that he is. But he's nursing that hip injury. Is that hip injury worse than what I think it is? Is that hip injury worse than what I think it is? Gib, if you look at what Cade is doing in terms of number-wise, he's not doing anything different this season than he did last year. I think last year he averaged 23 a game. This year he's averaging 25 a game. Last year he averaged 7 assists. This year he's averaging 9. The difference is how he's getting it. Like in terms of the buckets, in terms of the numbers, they don't look much different. But he's doing things way different this season than what he was doing last year. Getting downhill way more. Getting to the rim more. Finishing at the rim more. I think he's smarter as a distributor. Now, don't get me wrong. He's had some bad turnover games. I've seen 10 turnover games from Cade. More than once. I've seen that from him. But he's done a better job in taking care of the ball this season. But I think that the numbers, are going to have people thinking that it looks pretty much the same as last year, and they're not looking at Cade the player, and I think that's where it gets screwed up at. I think that's right. I think that right there is where it gets screwed up at. So the most improved player, I think, is Christian Brown, and the sixth man of the year. For me, it used to be a two-man race, and I hear that Malik Beasley is in this race. I think it's Peyton Pritchard, and I think he wins it going away. I don't think that Peyton Pritchard wins as good as like DeAndre Hunter, right? DeAndre Hunter and Peyton Pritchard were basically neck and neck. Then DeAndre moved to Cleveland, where he ends up starting for them, and now he starts for them, right? So Hunter ends up starting for them, and I mean, I don't think that moves you out of being the sixth man of the year. I don't think that that's the problem, off the strength that, you know, there's guys who have started a lot of games and still been sixth man of the year. That's not, you know, something that's, you know, ridiculous because you started a couple of games. If you started more games than you came off the bench, I don't think that you in conversation for sixth man of the year. Ty Jerome, as much as I would like, Ty Jerome is playing good, but what I don't want to do is I don't want to overstate, right? I don't want to overstate him, right? I do not want to overstate him, but I do want to address this right here. Chew, you had us missing the playoffs. Just so you know, just so we clear, I want to make sure that we clear on this, Noman. You guys are not out of the woods. You're tied with Minnesota for the sixth spot. If Minnesota ends up jumping you and you in the play-in tournament, is it ridiculous to think that you can miss the playoffs? I don't think so. I don't think you're going to miss the playoffs, but is it ridiculous to think that you can miss the playoffs? No, it's not. And I got a super chat from TD12. At the $1.99. Thanks, brother. Appreciate it. You guys in Minnesota are tied for the sixth spot, right? For the sixth spot, and you end up winning the tiebreaker because I think you're a game ahead of them right now. But if they end up jumping you, and you end up in the seventh spot, and you got to see the Clippers. You got to see the Clippers in round one of the play-in tournament. Is it ridiculous to think that they could beat y'all? And I don't have the Clippers making the playoffs. I don't. I do not have the Clippers making the playoffs. But is it ridiculous to think that they can beat you guys in a one-game playoff? No, I don't think that. I don't think it's ridiculous at all. No, I do not. So I got another super chat from T12. He said, "How good was Andrew Toney before his injury?" I don't know if you've heard the phrase "the Boston Strangler." That was Andrew Toney. He used to kick Danny Ainge ass before he tore up his Achilles. Kick Danny Ainge and the Boston Celtics ass. Andrew Toney had a money mid-range game. Money. Could score on anybody. Right? Could score on anybody. And was tough as nails. That's why I used to call him the Boston Strangler, because he used to kill the Celtics. He used to kill them. Kill the Celtics. So, I don't hate. I didn't hate. Let me rephrase that. I didn't hate DeAndre Hunter when he was in the back and forth with Peyton Pritchard, but I think Peyton Pritchard is your sixth man of the year this year for what he's been doing coming off the bench. Now, I'm not going to overestimate him. Like, Peyton Pritchard could get 40 anytime. No, he's not a walking 40 ball. No, he isn't. Now, is he nice as hell? Yes, he is. 100% he is. He's super nice. But I've seen, 2 for 11 games, 3 for 12 games, stuff like that. 1 for 8 games. Yes, I've seen that. So I'm not going to overstate him. But what I am going to say is, as a rotation player, not just as a long ball shooter, but as a rotation player, taking care of the basketball, relocating, being a positive on the floor as a rotation player, which is your job. He's been fantastic at that. Yes, he's been absolutely fantastic at that, and he's been a plus. I think that both him and DeAndre Hunter, before Hunter ended up going to Cleveland, I thought it was between them two dudes, right? I thought it was between him and those two guys, but I don't think that there's a guy in the game who's playing his role better, right? I don't think there's a guy who's playing his role better as a rotation guy than Peyton Pritchard. I don't, and I think Malik Beasley is really good, really, really good. But I think that I feel like Peyton Pritchard has just been so consistent all year long. I do. We'll see though. We'll definitely see what they look like. But I want to talk to you guys. I do. I want to talk to you guys. I want to see what's on your mind. What up?
Hello, can you hear me?
What up?
Chill. Two things. First off, do you think it's kind of concerning? Because people keep talking to me about this Boston and Cleveland series come postseason time. Do you think it's kind of concerning how in the regular season Cleveland's trailing by damn near 20 in the first half? They're essentially like playing catch up the entire game.
Right. Is it
like, do you think that's pretty concerning?
Is it concerning for Cleveland? It should be, off the strength that, when you get to the playoffs and the game slows down, it's going to be your job to speed the game up. And there's not going to be many teams that are going to allow you to speed the game up. Now, Cleveland has the unique ability, because of their defense, to speed the game up and to get themselves back in games, because they have such a great defense and a defensive player in Mobley. But if you're going to consistently go 18, 15, 18, 20 in a hole and have to dig yourself out of that hole constantly, that's going to wear on you. 100% it is.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's like, if you guys are going to lose like this, you guys almost lost to Boston in that last game. A coaching oopsies kind of what caused that loss for us.
Mm-hmm.
And I think so. Like, there's no reason for Jalen to be running ball handling responsibilities in the first half of that fourth. Tatum doesn't leave the fourth. That's really what sold that game out, Chill.
Like, I said the same thing against the Lakers. He shouldn't have came out the game. I said the same thing against the Lakers.
I'm standing on that. Tatum in the fourth quarter doesn't leave the entire quarter. That's like meat and potatoes of the game. He needs to be in there, because clearly when Jaylen Brown is there on his own, trying to pass and facilitate, he can't do anything. He can't do that. He just causes multiple turnovers, right? Like, I just don't believe that Jaylen Brown has that ability to, be a predominant ball handler on a squad.
And I also think that with Jason Tatum, you can take him out of the game within the fourth quarter, but sitting him at the beginning when he's got it going into the fourth, no, I don't like that at all. If you want to take him out,
it was weird.
If you want to take him out with like with 7 minutes and give him a minute or two and then put him back in the last 5 minutes, I'm cool with that. But if he's got it going, he's got 14 and 5 rebounds in the third quarter, and we going into the fourth and you sitting him, no. Keep him on the floor.
He could have had 50 that game. He legitimately could have went. He legitimately could have went for 50. I got one more for you here, Chill. I gotta get your thoughts on my boys' free agency. Chill. How's my NFL free agency going right now?
I have not been paying attention to free agency with you guys. I'd be lying if I said I did. I do know that Mac Jones signed with the 49ers. I do know that.
You do know that? Did you hear about?
I do know Mac Jones signed with the 49ers.
DK Metcalf.
We need it back. I do know about Metcalf going to the Steelers.
Cooper
I do know
Kupp.
that. I do know about Cooper Kupp. Yes. The question is who is going to be the Giants' quarterback? That's
they just got to call us. We'll give him Joe Milton.
That's what I'm interested in.
Giants QB. Chill. Yeah. They haven't been able to draft a good quarterback since Eli Manning. Get out of here with this Giants crap. Chill. Are you kidding? Daniel Jones? They had their perfect opportunity to draft a QB in 24. They botched it. Bo Nix was sitting right there. Chill.
I think they would have ruined him, to be honest with you. I do.
You think they would have ruined Nix?
I think they would have ruined him. Mm-hmm.
Whoa, why is that?
I don't think they know what they're doing in New York with that crew. And now they brought in 3 different quarterbacks. They brought in Joe Flacco, Russell Wilson, and Jameson Winston. They brought those 3 guys in to throw, and they're going to pick between the 3 of those guys. I don't know if I love that. So.
And
All right, brother.
All right, chill.
Good to talk to you. Yup. What up?
What's up, Chill? How you doing, bro?
What's up, brother? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it basketball. Yeah, when I listen to a lot of the guys that call up, I got to understand this YouTube, so it's a different audience, and sometimes they don't know, and I can't really fault them for what they don't know. You know, like the guy was saying, man, he wasn't even born when the guy was doing this, that, and other. I'm like, okay, so his frame of reference is gonna be different.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of topics that y'all been talking about. Is how can you argue someone's hypothetical? And that's a lot of times, man, if Larry Bird and if Michael Jordan, it's so hypothetical. It's a dumb argument, but it's content and people could discuss back and forth. But once you get older, it's a thing called wisdom.
Yep.
and discernment. And a lot of times younger people don't understand it. And I can hear when you speak and when you making your point, it's hard to speak to them because they don't have the frame of reference to even know, to even compare it to somebody. Somebody was like, Wilt was garbage and I was like, bro, I ain't even watched Wilt and I knew that.
Yeah.
You know,
Wilt was playing neither, but
yeah,
I know
me either.
he wasn't. I don't bother with them dudes though. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. It's what it's like too. It's like when you remember when you was kids and your people told you, yo, grown folks talking, go do something. So I find myself in that kind of space because a lot of the younger people that I talk to, when I'm trying to school them, they sound to me like they're talking to their friends, and I'm like, okay, hold on,
right.
I'm not your homeboy from school. I know a little bit more than your homeboy, so pay attention. You might learn something. Pay attention. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and the debates and stuff like that, that's pretty cool. I love that format. People gonna copy that. You already know. The way that y'all did that was pretty cool. But let me say this. Okay, I've seen a lot of players come up, and you remember Harold Miner and people like the next Jordan and all this. See, and I said, you don't understand what goes on to a guy can have a good year or good 2 years, but sometimes you get a discernment, the way he's playing and the way things are going, the team he's on, you can get a feeling and a better guess than them. I was like, yeah, you look, if Yao Ming would have kept playing, bro, if his feet wouldn't have got messed up, if Tracy McGrady wouldn't have got hurt, Larry Bird, you can do all of that ifs. Now we were talking about Wemby being the next bit. This man, he might Chris Bosh out the league and can never come back. But everybody tried to hype him up. They tried to hype him. Unfortunate things happen, and when you have a discernment about things, you can kind of get a better understanding. Like, nah, that ain't no work. That format don't work. Carmelo don't work. Allen Iverson, they good and fun to look at. You're not about to win nothing. James Harden, you're not about to win nothing, but it's fun to look at. That's basically what I was saying. But I'm gonna sit back. I'm gonna sit back here in the lobby.
Yes, sir.
And finish watching y'all go.
Good to talk to you, brother. You know where to find me at. Yep. What up?
What's going on, man?
What up?
I want to know, do you feel like players like Paul George are overly criticized in the sense that he's about to turn 35 and not everybody is LeBron or Curry can play at an elite superstar level till they're out of the league?
I think that when you are of that prototype, I think people see the potential. And when you show the potential, people expect you to be what other great players are because they see you like they see Bird or Grant Hill or something like that. Like you're the next coming of this guy. And Paul George, the way his game was, like he was the evolution of the small forward, 6'9", super duper athletic, nice handle, could score it on anybody, could score anywhere, elite on the defensive side of the basketball. All of that stuff goes into the next generation or the evolution of a great basketball player. And when you don't become that, it's kind of saddening to people because that's their expectation of you. That's what they think you are. Okay, you're going to be this, and if you don't become that, you suck because this is what I expected you to be. When in reality, maybe he was just a good complimentary player. In fact, he told us that. Paul George told us that he's not a number one on a championship team. Now, there's some people who will tell you, I probably wouldn't have said that out loud, but if it's true, so. Because it is true. If we're being honest, I mean, that's who Paul George is. Paul George is a great complimentary player on a championship team. That's who he is.
Yeah. I guess the counter argument is the money he's making. Like I understand he may not be performing for the money he's making, but I feel like that's happens with a lot of NBA guys where they do get you pay someone for 4 years for them to give you 2 good years. And like, hey, in those last 2 years, he might be 36, 37. He may not perform, but we'll take those 2 years. But
now remember, I can't blame Paul George for, Philly offered him $200 million. They made a mistake. Yeah. That was their mistake. They were the ones who made a mistake offering him $200 million. He was not going to turn that money down. No, man, $200 million. No,
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, he 100% is putting his name on that contract, as any one of us would, even if we don't have the goods. But they paid him on what they thought they could still get out of him. Maybe we could still get 2 more years, and we still have this window between him and Joel Embiid where we have an opportunity to win. When in reality, we don't.
Yeah,
we don't. That window is closed. Yep.
Yeah, I agree, man.
All right, brother. Good to talk to you. What up?
Yes, sir.
What up?
Are we ready to have a serious conversation, Chill? Come on, OG.
No. Sorry, brother. Especially after what I watched a couple of nights ago. I mean, last night when I watched y'all give up that 9-point lead, and Scotty Barnes was basically had disappeared. I watched that game against Trailblazers last night. I did.
Oh, he disappeared because he was benched, Chill.
And why was he benched?
We're tanking, Chill.
I don't want to hear that shit. I'm not trying to hear that. I'm not trying to hear that. I'm not.
Why are you not trying to hear that? It's facts. It's reality. It's reality.
I'm not trying to hear that, man.
Reality.
No,
you don't want to listen to reality. That's the reality.
I'm not trying to hear that. I'm not. And
he's the closest thing we've seen to Scotty. He's the closest thing we've seen to Scottie Pippen objectively. If you have a set of eyes, he's the closest.
Not even close.
Scottie Pippen.
He's not the athlete that Scottie Pippen
when we pair Brandon Ingram with Scotty Barnes next year, I promise you, we will be contenders. I promise you. We're on the way there. Alex McKechnie is the greatest health development staff that you have in the NBA today. We have the greatest player development in the NBA today. We have the greatest health team in the NBA today. Ashak, Alex McKechnie, who's Alex McKechnie playing for? Who's he on the roster for? He works for the Toronto Raptors. He's gonna get Brandon Ingram right.
What's interesting, Jan? What you telling me? I heard the same thing in September. I did.
From who? From who?
I heard that from Raptors fan. That's why I started watching Toronto this year. Because every day. No, wait. Listen. Pay attention. Pay attention. You might learn something here. Why do you think I started watching Toronto this season? I have no interest into Toronto Raptors, none whatsoever. But I started watching them because everything that you're telling me, I heard that in September. You need to start paying more attention to Scotty Barnes. You need to start paying more attention to Quigley. Everything you're telling me now, I heard all of this in September, in October. That's why I started watching them. And then I told you throughout the course of the year, I wasn't blown away like you are about Scotty Barnes. He's not nearly the athlete that Scottie Pippen is. It's not even close in terms of the fluidity. He's not nearly the passer. He's not even close to the passer.
Absolutely is. He absolutely is. He was compared to Magic Johnson when he was drafted, Chill. He was compared to Magic Johnson.
I wish that I could have I really wish that I could have a basketball conversation with you. Like, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm in my mid-20s.
Yeah, that's what I figured. And the reason why is because I think that you're so jaded and you're so blinded just by these guys. And you don't. And this is what's going to happen to you, Jan. I'm telling you this right now. What's going to happen to you because of the way you feel about Scotty Barnes, 20 years from now, there's going to be a guy who they're going to tell you, yo, this guy's the closest thing to Scotty Barnes. And you're going to look at him like, get the hell out of here. This guy has nothing on Scotty Barnes. I was around when Scottie Pippen was playing. Him and Scotty Barnes are like this. They're not close to each other. They're not even close to each other. On the defensive end, on the offensive end, as a finisher in transition, as a score, they're not close to each other. Scottie Pippen is much better than him. Much better than him. And just from an athletic standpoint, I can appreciate your logic about Scottie Barnes being young, but you 100% overestimate him. You do. And that's the reason why I stopped watching Toronto as much, because the spiel that you're giving me, I heard this spiel about 6 months ago, and it was I got sold a bill of goods. I did.
OG,
I got sold some bullshit.
All-NBA defense, is that not valuable to you?
I got sold some bullshit. That's all I got to say.
28 All-NBA first defender. Is that not valuable to you?
I wish I could say it was, but nope, not him. Sorry, brother. Sorry, brother. What up?
Yeah, chill.
What up?
Let me see. I had my fault, but how far do you think the Nuggets are gonna go?
Second round.
Second round. You don't think they can? You don't think they can make it to the? You don't think they can make it to the finals?
No, I don't. Unfortunately, I don't. Nope. I do not. Sorry. What up?
How we doing?
What's up, brother?
How we doing? All right, so I got 2 topics for you today. Let's run through them. Firstly, I think in the East, I think the Celtics are the obvious favorites. Not just to win the East, but the championship as a whole.
You have a dark horse in the East? Is there a team in the East that you look at and go, you better watch out because those dudes gonna make some noise? Is there a team?
Yes.
Is there a team?
Yeah, I don't think the Knicks, speaking as a Knicks fan, I don't think the Knicks are in there, but I think the Pacers, I don't think they're going to win it, but I think they are a team that could make some noise. And I think people should watch out for them. They've been like the top 9 defense this season, something like that.
So in the top 10, okay.
Yeah, they're not running as fast as they used to, so they have more energy in transition. And Siakam, I mean, he's aged. He's arguably looked better than he did last year. And how he's getting back to form, improving as a pull-up shooter. I think this team could make some noise. Yeah, that's my 2 cents on it.
All right. Okay. I could get with that. All right, brother. Good to talk to you. So there was one thing that I did leave out. So you had my all-pro-team, right? You had my all-pro-team. Then you had I didn't give you my all-league defensive team. I did not give you that. I did give you my defensive player of the year, and that's Evan Mobley. I did give you my 6th man of the year. I think that's Peyton Pritchard. I did give you my most improved player. I think that's Christian Brown. That leaves us with my coach of the year. That's the question. Who are the candidates for coach of the year? Is Coach Mazzulla in the coach of the year conversation? He might be. Coach Mazzulla might be, but I don't think he's going to win coach of the year. I think this is a two-man race between Kenny Atkinson and JB Bickerstaff. I think those 2 guys are the 2 guys who I think those 2 guys are the 2 guys that I think are going to be the last 2 standing when the coach of the year candidate comes out. And I think JB Bickerstaff is the coach of the year. And the reason why I think JB Bickerstaff is the coach of the year is because I think he completely transformed the culture of what was going on in Detroit. I don't think Detroit was nearly on the upswing that Cleveland was on. Cleveland was a team that had gone from being a play-in team to bagging Donovan Mitchell to being a playoff team to now advancing to the 2nd round. And I feel like Coach Atkinson made a damn good team elite. JB Bickerstaff completely transformed what was going on in Detroit, right? Completely transformed what was going on in Detroit. And Zoll says to me, why doesn't Mark Dagnall ever get mentioned? He just won coach of the year last year. He literally just won coach of the year. There's no reason. Everybody knows who Mark Dagnall is. He literally just won coach of the year last year. So, and I'm trying to remember, since coach of the year was given out, has anybody ever won coach of the year in back-to-back seasons? On top of that, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if you know this, right? I don't know if you know this, but Coach Spo has never won Coach of the Year, and there's a large part of the NBA that thinks Coach Spo is the best coach in the NBA, right? There's a large part of the NBA that thinks that Coach Spo is the best coach in the game, and like this right here, where he says Kenny Atkinson completely transformed Cleveland this year. Actually, that's what Bickerstaff did in Detroit. He didn't transform them. They were already damn good and going to be damn good this year. Now, anybody that tells you that they thought that the Cavs were going to win 65, close to 70 games this year, they're lying. They're just lying because that's not true. I can tell you right now, I thought they'd be a top 3 seed in the East. I did not have them running away with the Eastern Conference. No. So with that, right, with that being said, with what JB Bickerstaff has done with that crew, and I feel like I'm forgetting somebody. Is it Ime Udoka? Yeah, I'm forgetting Ime Udoka because he's transformed that crew too. I think Houston, if I'm not mistaken, I think they're in 3rd in the West. They're in 2nd place in the West. I had them as a top 5 seed. Coach Udoka is Coach Udoka, Kenny Atkinson, Coach Udoka, Kenny Atkinson, and JB Bickerstaff. I think those are the 3 guys that we're going to see at the end of the year for Coach of the Year, off the strength of what they've done for their crew. And I think it's going to be Bickerstaff, Udoka, Kenny Atkinson. And I've seen Coach Spo win 66 games and win 28 straight games and did not win Coach of the Year. That didn't happen. Right? I seen I seen a bunch of different coaches perform really well and not win Coach of the Year. So the fact that Kenny Atkinson made a damn good team even better, I don't think that trumps what Ime Udoka did in Houston. I don't think that trumps what JB Bickerstaff has done in Detroit. I don't think that trumps that. I don't think Kenny Atkinson did a better job. I think he got the keys to a Ferrari, and I think that he upgraded that Ferrari. It wasn't like he got the keys to a so-so car. I think he got the keys to a Ferrari, and he upgraded it. That's all it was. And I have to say that what I've seen with JB Bickerstaff, I can honestly say that there hasn't been a turnaround like that between him and Coach. Because again, with Coach Udoka, I mean, Houston was at the bottom of the Western Conference 2 years ago. They were in the basement, literally. It was Animal House. You walk in the house and dudes are swinging from the ceiling fan. They're having food fights. There was no culture going on there whatsoever. None. Zero. And then now we have the Houston Rockets go from being at the bottom of the Western Conference to last year just missing the play-in tournament. Literally just missing the play-in tournament. They go from just missing the play-in tournament to they're a number 2 seed. If the season ended today, they'd be hosting a playoff series, which is incredible to me. Right? This is ridiculous to me. What Coach Udoka has been doing. And then I could say the same thing for what's going on with Coach Bickerstaff in Detroit, because nobody, with the 7 guys that they had coming back off that team in Detroit that lost 28 straight games, which thank you, Toronto, for throwing a monkey wrench in it. Right? Thank you, Toronto, for throwing a monkey wrench in it. But if Toronto doesn't throw a monkey wrench in it, I had Detroit winning. I was looking at their schedule last year at that time, and I had them losing 40 straight games. I didn't see them winning any games. I didn't. And they go from that to they're a game and a half away from hosting a playoff series. A game and a half away from hosting a playoff series. That is incredible. That is absolutely incredible, that kind of turnaround. So if I had a vote in Coach of the Year, my vote for Coach of the Year would be JB Bickerstaff. They would be considering everything that Detroit has been through. So, but we've been through it all. Yes, we have. We've been through it all, and it's about that time for me, guys. It was good to see you tonight. You know where to find me. I'm on TikTok live every morning, 9 a.m. If I'm not there, you can find me on the panel with the guys on the Players Choice Network from 11 to 2. If I'm not there, you can find me weeknights on Chilltown Hoops. Me and my man Tony Tone. We do it on Tuesday nights. We do it on Tuesday nights. If I'm not there, you can find me on Thursday, Saturday afternoon. I'm sorry, not Saturday night. Saturday afternoon with my man Big Ox on Chill with Chill, 12 o'clock Eastern. So on Saturday, I am not hard to find, guys. I will see you soon. Until then, put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother. The last time you talk to your mother, call your mother. I will talk to you guys soon. But until then, take it light. Take it. Absolutely, man. It was good to see you guys.